What's going on, everybody? Right, I've been missing for a little while, but we're back. Um, and ended up finding a guest over in Spain. He said he wanted to go jump on the call. So yeah, so this is episode 9 of my Game Changer podcast. Obviously, thanks everybody who's watched so far, and as we always do, just go straight in. So I'm gonna let this guy introduce himself. Uh, so basically, tell us a little about who you are, what you do, and why are you doing it?
I'm Francois. Played football pretty much my whole life since I don't know around the age of 5. Moved to I'm from Chester originally. It's in between Liverpool and North Wales. I got scouted pretty late on compared to most of my friends who were playing in academies. So I think I was 15, 16 at the time. Oldham when I was 16. Signed scholarship terms with them, and yeah, so lived there for 2 years. And it was around that time I was living in Oldham that I started getting nerves before football and just not enjoying it as much as I used to when I was younger, with the pressure that I was putting on myself to want to go and earn a professional contract. And so when I got to 18 and the professional contracts were being given out, I didn't get offered a new contract. So then I obviously the next route is going into playing non-league played non-league football ever since then. Been on trial at other pro clubs and stuff. It's still the pressure that I was putting on myself to want to go and play at that next level. It's holding me back from playing football and enjoying my football. I think like most players, when you enjoy it, it's when you play your best football. So went me down the route of the mindset because I was so focused on my diet, on my fitness, but never really thought about any mindset. I think that was the missing piece for me. So I got introduced to different kind of holistic modalities. So I did a bit of sound healing, but it was someone me to EFT tapping, which I can speak a little bit about um, and kind of yeah mindset coaching, and that really helped me with my confidence as a footballer and also as a person as well, just in day-to-day life because what I noticed in terms of not performing well on the pitch and sort of areas of my life, like with relationships and with jobs as well. But then when I started working as a mindset coach, an EFT practitioner, I noticed it helped not only with all, but with who I was as a person and kind of my purpose in life. So, yeah, that's a bit of a long-winded, uh, long-winded explanation about me. But yeah, now I work as a mindset coach, practitioner in EFT tapping and matrix re-imprinting, and I'm helping ballers with that at the moment. So, yeah.
Oh, super! And I know we were only talking about this during the week, but one word you mentioned there was purpose, and sort of now that you've gone on your journey to where you are now. How important is waking up every day and having a purpose, just like just to you, really?
Yeah, definitely. It's massive. It's one of them. It's like you said, you wake up every day and I'm doing something that I love doing. Because that was a massive thing for I was waking up to do it, but then I didn't really love it like I used to anymore. Partly because of the pressure, but also because the main kind of path for me. And having as my purpose in life, I feel like it's helped me with my football and everything else I do. Yeah.
No, super. And Yeah, so then just obviously give everyone a little bit of a background of how we became to know each other and sort of some ideas that we've shared sort of along the way because it's only a sort of a fresh sort of friendship, really.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it was through LinkedIn, wasn't it, that we first
Yeah.
connected. And I was in well near Malaga at the time because I was playing football in Gibraltar. And I don't know, it was one that said, "Oh, should we jump on a call, connect with each other?" And then it just went from there. Really, we both bounced with what we were both doing, or what we're both doing currently. Like, yeah, just kind of gelled from there.
And then, so just talk to me about the fact that so obviously you've been in England for most of your life, and then sort of like you just mentioned there, you spent a I think it was a season or half a season in Gibraltar.
Yeah,
Was that hard to sort of how hard is it sort of to go out of your comfort zone to a totally new country? You obviously in Chester, you have your family, you have your friends, have your whatever,
yeah,
girlfriends, and then all of a sudden you have to go and move somewhere totally different, sort of
yeah,
meet new people. So how did you sort of find that sort of being outside your comfort zone?
yeah. No, I was when I first went, I was excited, but also a little bit scared at the same time, a bit nervous because you're going into a new setting. Um, but yeah, just getting used to, I suppose, a different kind of culture. In Gibraltar, everyone speaks everyone speaks English. But yeah, like I said, getting used to a new place and pushing yourself out of my comfort zone as well. It's been a massive thing for me because every time I've done that, what's been on the other side of that is, um, you know, massive growth. And I think we've spoken about that as well. Self outside your comfort zone. So I think it was a big challenge for me, but something that was definitely worth it because you learn a lot about yourself in them times that you do push us and challenge, take on bigger challenges. So yeah, nervous but enjoyed it at the same time, and I'm looking forward to going back there as well in the summer.
Nice. And was there someone who maybe potentially helped you settle in easier than you might have maybe imagined? I don't know, like was it maybe a new teammate? Was it the coach? Was it someone you met? I don't know. Just trying to think, was there one person who maybe helped the whole transition become a lot easier than it might have been?
Yeah. The coach was a massive help for me. And a few that I think I knew a couple of lads from before, so that was a good thing. But yeah, they were all welcoming. I think that was a thing. Just being part of a good team and a good kind of culture in the team was massive. So yeah, that was a big help.
Sweet. And yeah, so you've obviously spoken about challenges, and I think when you want to try and go and do sort of big things, great things in your life, there's always going to be challenges. It might not be this week, might be next week, whatever. But what sort of big goals do you see in your life? I mean, for this question, I always like I want to go massive. I mean, I want you to think as big as you can. So, is
Well,
there? And like I said in the questions, it can be anything related to your family, to football, to business, to like what you're doing now with your mindset. But I don't know, it could be one, it could be two, it could be multiple of them in one.
mm,
What are those big goals in your life?
yeah, so for football anyway, it's just to continue um, evolving as a player and understanding my strengths and weaknesses as a player and just not worrying so much about um, having such have big goals in mind. But for me, a goal is somewhere. to come from rather than to get to. So, every we've spoken about having big goals and who I'd like to work with in the future and possibly where I'd want to play, but I try not to hold onto them goals as put so much pressure on them happening because it might turn out in a different way that's better than I could have imagined. But it's on the journey of that goal, the person that I come on that journey and what I learn from it. Yeah, it's just I think for me the biggest thing is just enjoyment, enjoying football as much as possible. Playing as many games as possible season because last season it was kind of up and down with games, um, kind of stop start. I had an injury towards the end of the season and then started the started the season late as well, late in towards the end of last year. Yeah, just playing as many games as possible and keeping as fit as possible, and then hopefully being a team that qualifies for Europe because last year we just missed out on being a European qualifier spot. So, and then in business, just help people as possible, really serving as many people. So whether that's one to one or in the group, spoke about obviously we can talk about that a bit later as well. But yeah, it's more who I become on the journey of having the goal and trying not to put so much on the outcome. So just enjoyment really.
And I just want to touch on what you said. Do you think that, say, if there's people out there listening who said that, I mean, I think if you ask people, they talk about these big goals. Look, everyone wants these big, massive mansions, the fancy cars, the private jets, the whole lot. But do you think sometimes that they put too much pressure on themselves, and if they kind of maybe set smaller stepping stones, that that actually might enjoy their life a bit more rather than potentially rushing through life to get to this and then not get there. Because I kind of have this phrase, probably similar to yourself. It's kind of like if you aim for the moon, you might fall on the stars. But like you said,
Mm,
if if I aim for the moon and I'm starting off on Earth and I end up on the stars, I've still grown maybe 50% in a year or over a journey. So
yeah.
I've achieved so much. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying, do you think sometimes people just focus on the end goal and they forget like, well, there's actually like 10 years of work or 15 years of work in between now and then?
Yeah. I think yeah, definitely having a timeline on when you have to is for me anyway, it's not healthy because if you don't reach it within the line, it can be disheartening. But it doesn't mean that you can be, you don't have to be happy because you can still feel happy and fulfilled and enjoy the journey to getting there. Because when you do get there, you're gonna have all those good feelings. It's not when you get there that you'll feel good. It's just something to work towards that talking about earlier that wants you to get out of bed and get into action towards something. So yeah, I think focusing on it kind of lightly rather than it being so much that it can end up in burnout, that we spoke a couple of days ago. So yeah, it's having a goal in mind, but it being in a way that it's not so much pressure on yourself and strain on your mind and also soul as well. So
And do you think kind of as uh, just sort of tapping into your own expertise as a mindset coach that people kind of don't really understand the pressures that they're putting on themselves when they set these big goals that they like I say you go out and ask somebody like what do you want to do. Everyone says that they want to have a lot of money and they want to be successful, but do you think people don't actually realize the sort of maybe the mental um effects that it has on you over a long period of time? Because I imagine from from me, on my point of view on the journey that I'm sort of slowly going on, sometimes you miss out on things. You achieve a goal, you smash through a goal. I've done it before. You set a goal at the start of the year. After 6 months, you smash it, and then you get there, and
Mhm.
you're just like, well, okay, cool. Now what's next? And they don't actually appreciate that. But you think that like sometimes that's where the pressure comes from, that they're smashing out all these goals, but they just don't think about. They don't make take a second to breathe and just say, "Wow,
Mhm.
look at where I am right now
Yeah,
compared to where I was
yeah,
6 months ago or a year ago."
yeah, definitely. Reflections are definitely thing of a big thing of what I do, and looking back at what you hit, what it is that you have achieved. And by all means, it's having a big goal. Like everyone should dream bigger, I feel like, and it's healthy to have big goals. But yeah, just also tuning into is that you really want. So you might say like having the private jet and the flashy car, but what is it that you really want? How does having the flashy car and the private jet make you feel? Uh, is it something that is there a reason behind one of them things? Is it because you want recognition? Is it to fill a place that you've got in yourself right now, or is it just something that you're genuinely interested in of where they are in their life? Then when they get to that point, they still feel the same feeling of lack or that still that same empty space. And you, to loads of successful people when they achieve their goals, they kind of go into depression because they haven't actually enjoyed the journey along the way, and then you looked back at how far they've come and how far they've grown along the journey. So yeah, I think reflection and looking back and seeing how far you come is massive.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with what you said because I like that. I've heard of so many of these high profile people who have loads of money, but like that, they're just not happy because they just breezed through. I mean, not breezed through life, but they went straight through all the goals and never took time to reset.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just moving on then to I know you kind of touched on it at the very start, but you can maybe think of it. Has there been any challenges along the way for you now? And then what potential challenges do you think might be in the future? Whether it's this year,
Yeah,
next
so
year, or 5 years ahead. Sorry, go on.
yeah, so for me, I think the biggest thing has just been working out who I am and what it is that I want out of out of life, really. And finding the direction I feel is best for me. I've struggling with kind of not feeling good enough, that imposter syndrome in the back, and what it is that I wanted to do instead of listening to outside noise and what other people think you should be doing. I think that's been the most challenging thing for me, is expressing who I am and what it is that I do. And I feel like that's a challenge that I've got over, but I suppose every new level that you go to, I feel like that'll be a challenge for me in the future as well. But it's now something that I look forward to and can enjoy, rather than in the past it being something that would weigh heavy on my mind, and something that I saw as a problem. Now I'm looking forward to them challenges rather than wanting to run away from them.
No, I like that because you do hear of a lot of people who come up against challenges and just like that. It's just no, I don't want to. But like
Yeah.
people who run head on. I mean, like, look, if you don't try, you're never gonna know. So it's brilliant. And look, I would have been the exact same. I said to you the other day, like sort of this life to me, like if I told myself this 15 years ago, I would have just
Yeah.
laughed in my face because I was like, there's no way. It's like for me back then, like speaking in front of people, talking to people was a
Mm.
challenge. But
Yeah.
now obviously now I've taken those steps. So I mean, so I went that head on. I mean, look, I smashed through the wall and came out the other side.
Mm.
I think it turned
Yeah.
out all right. So
Yeah, definitely. It's inspiring to see as well. Yeah, it's good. It's good hearing other people's stories and hearing what they've been able to push through, what boundaries they've been able to push.
and then obviously, so look, I've obviously gone through some challenges, like I was just saying to you. But what about sort of advice to your younger self? Anything you'd say?
Uh,
Anything you'd do? Maybe.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Not to worry so much about what other people think of you and other people's opinions, and just to connect with myself and trust my intuition and what feels right to me. And like I said, what other people think I should be doing. Yeah.
And just sort of on that, tapping into sort of your own mindset of not worrying what other people do. Like, how would you sort of go about if someone came to you and said, "Look, I'm worrying about this guy in my class, this person in my class, or
Mm.
this person on my team." Um, like, what would you say to them? I'm curious to know, with sort of with your knowledge, how you'd go about dealing with that.
Yeah. For me, it's been or what I'd say to someone else is instead of trying to fight whatever that emotion is that comes up, just allow yourself to sit with it and understand it and see where it comes from. Because a lot of the time, if you fight it, you make it worse. So just sitting with it, allow yourself to feel what it is that's in your body, and just allowing it to be there, be present in the moment, and understanding that there's always going to be people in life that aren't going to agree with you or buy into what it is that you do, but at the end of the day, they're not your people. So and that's okay. Everyone has things that they like and the things that they don't like. That's nothing against you. It's nothing personal. So yeah, just understand that everyone has their own preferences um and that's okay. And work out who your people are and just you know stay in, try and build your own community of people and not you don't have to be liked by everyone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
No,
okay to be who you are.
yeah, no, brilliant, no, brilliant. No, I genuinely believe that. I mean, that'd be sort of something similar to what I would have said to myself too. Is that like I think there's too many people go around wondering. I mean, like for me today, I was in the gym, but I mean, like, there's too many people going around looking, being like, what, thinking, oh, like he's looking at me. Look, I can only
Mm,
bench 50 kg, but he can bench 90 kg, and he's looking at me
mm,
saying I'm weak. Or someone else is on a treadmill, being like, oh, look at me, I need to go and lose some weight. But I genuinely think that most people are just so in their own heads about what other
yeah.
people think. And like that, if you actually went into the gym and asked everybody, most people are just like, well, actually, I don't care if you're over there dancing in the corner or doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I mean, because look, that's people will tell you I go into the gym and during my sets just mess around, but I mean, and dance like that because that's the energy that I have now. But I mean, I don't care. But I mean, I guarantee you, if I asked anybody in the gym, yeah, here, did you see that fella dancing over there? Who's dancing where? No one cares.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing, like, when you get out of the gym, you're like, oh, everyone just gets on with the rest of the day, don't they? It's not like it's a massive thing that they hold in their mind and they have to come back to every minute of and every
Yeah.
second. So
No. No, honestly, no. I think that's what I mean. I'm glad now that I'm in a place where I can do that. Whereas
yeah.
going back to sort of challenge stuff, well, obviously, like I said, I never thought I would have done this. This would have been a challenge
Mm,
to me all those years ago. But now I'm in a place where you talk about being comfortable in yourself,
yeah.
where I actually don't care. I'll go off and, as I just mentioned, I'll just be dancing in the gym for no reason,
Yeah.
just because I've got energy.
And that's the thing I think to mention as well when you are, true to yourself and who you are, the people that are similar to you will find you and you'll find them as well. It's like, us two talking about similar things. Because we're both true to ourselves and kind of finding who we are, you know, we both enjoy talking about similar things and we're not worried about what other people think. So, um, that's what I'd say to someone else that might be worried about what others are thinking. If when you tune into who you are and what it is that you enjoy doing and enjoy about yourself, that's when you'll start noticing other people like you as well, that you can bounce ideas off and talk about similar stuff with. So
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, and really, really valid point. And I remember listening to someone say sometimes that sometimes in life, say like for me and you, like we're going on our journeys with you're obviously into the mindset, and I'm going after the coaching, and
mm,
that like the sort of the more that we grow, like we said, like we've only known each other maybe a couple of months, but if I didn't start my journey to grow, or you didn't start your journey to grow, we wouldn't have met. So
yeah,
the more you grow, like you said, you meet like-minded people, and then when you're around like-minded people, stuff like this becomes so much easier because you're basically talking to
yeah,
your friend.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
So, but anyway, right. So to finish this one off, like I always say, I don't take any credit for this question because this isn't mine, but this is a good mate of mine, Jack Sweeney Leahy. He always any time I did workshops with him, he always asked me this question, and the question is, what are you going to work on this week to improve your career goals now, or even your life? Now, I know it's such a vague, open-ended question because you might work on something which
mm,
will potentially not take effect for another 6 weeks, 6 months. But yeah, no, I'm just interested to hear your sort of your thoughts on this question.
yeah. I love listening to podcasts and reading as well. Um, just reading books. So I think that's what I do every week, just to learn new things, and also just keep connecting with new people and having conversations. Like yourself, conversations that inspire me. So that's what I'll continue doing to help me grow in my career and life.
And what while you're there, and while I have you, any recommendations for people to go read? Anything to for people to go listen? I mean, like what are you reading or listening to at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. A book that's helped me massively is called Psycho-Cybernetics. So it's about having a goal in mind, but something to, like I spoke before, something to come from, and not something to get to. And it's also it describes it as having it describes it as a missile. So a missile will work towards its goal. It'll have its target. It'll lock onto a target, and it'll make mistakes along the way. And those mistakes, uh, what it uses to correct its course. So it's not worrying about making mistakes. You want to make mistakes because they're going to come along the way on your journey, but it's using them to correct your course to that bigger vision that you have in mind. So yeah, Psycho-Cybernetics is well, it's been one of the best books for me.
Well, I must go. I must go find that out. Give that a listen. Um, but mate, firstly, I just want to thank you for your time. Jumping on a Sunday evening. Really appreciate that. As always, with anyone that I bring on, I learned from you. I know, like I said, even though we talk every week, I mean, I've picked up some amazing stuff from you in here
Otherwise,
in the last half an hour, which has been top class. And no, I appreciate you coming on and talking about your life really up until now. And like I say to everybody, in a year's time, the guests that I've done up until now and my future guests, we're going to come back and have a little reflection, as you call it, and see how we're doing.
yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me, Finian. Yeah, it's been
Right,
good.
appreciate it. And yeah, that brings you close to episode number 9. And hope you enjoy it. And number 10 is coming soon. See you later on.